Dude, I like the music choice. I like the glasses. I like that you're smoking up at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Everything about me is so cool.
You are. Yeah. You realize that you are cooler than I will ever be in my entire life. You know that.
Yes.
Right? Hello, everybody. This is Murr from the TV show Impractical Jokers, and you're watching my good friend, the DomenickNatiShow. Check it out right now.
There's no talks of being canceled or you guys quitting the show or anything like that.
We already got renewed for season 10, my friend. You're stuck with us for a while. Sorry about that.
Okay. It's essentially just like a band, right? So it's like so many bands. One person gets a big head, and then somebody leaves the group, and you can't keep it together. I mean, you guys haven't had any issues like that where
we are all equally mediocre. So that's the thing. There's no breakout star. There's no Justin Timberlake of our group. We all just look like pharmacists, and that keeps us on the same level. You know what I'm saying? There you go.
You were on our show 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Yeah. So, but you told me the story of how you sold the show, and I think you said that you sold it through your cell phone video. Is that right? Can you tell that story of how you landed this?
Yeah, my job used to be in TV development. I used to run development for a company named called North South. That is the producer of the show. And the guys and I went out with I don't even know what it was in 2010. Were those iPhones? Maybe.
There were, yeah.
iPhones came out in 2007.
Yeah.
So I don't think any of us had an iPhone back then. So we shot it on literally flip phones or like little handheld handy cams.
Yeah.
And Joe and I edited the sales tape together, and I pitched it through my job, and that's it. But yeah, it was literally, I think the whole sales tape for the show cost us about $80 to make.
So you were where? Like, who did you show this footage to?
I set up a pitch meeting with True TV. We pitched True TV, we pitched MTV, Comedy Central, and that's it. Comedy Central passed. MTV wanted the show. They made an offer for it. True TV wanted the show. They made an offer for it. We went back and forth between the networks, and we went with True TV, and here we are.
You being on True TV was always a little bit surprising for me, right? So, I mean, is that where you wanted to be? Like, how did you get on that network? And do you think the Jokers would have been better on a different network? Because True TV,
I don't. I think we made the absolute right choice. Because MTV wanted the show, but not us. They wanted to buy the show idea and recast us with the younger guys. We had exactly MTV material, you know what I'm saying, Dom? Like,
okay. I could see that, yeah.
We were about 15 years too old for MTV anyway. We were 35 at the time. And but they wanted the show idea. So the advantage of that is that we could have all kept our day jobs, right? We could have, Q was a fireman, very happy. I worked in TV development, I was happy. Joe's a salesman and doing well. Sal owned a bar at that point. So we all had regular jobs. So we could have easily chosen MTV to sell the idea to, but then we wouldn't have been on television. And with True, they were just the right network at the right time. And they were looking to change direction. They were looking for a show that would be a good transition out of what they were doing at the time, which was like a lot of tow truck shows and, spoofs of the pawn shows and things like that. They wanted to get out of that into a more of like a mainstream kind of demo, and we were the right bridge between those things. And gosh, I mean, do I regret the choice? No way. I've been on TV for 11 years now. It's freaking awesome.
You guys are so recognizable now. So, I mean, has it become nearly impossible to get a good reaction on a hidden camera show?
No, go figure. Not everyone in the country watches True TV. So don't worry about our level of fame. We're okay. We're good for many more seasons, I hope. People think I look familiar, but they think that they're like, I know that guy. Does he work at Walgreens? That's what they think. They don't think I'm like a TV star. We got years to go, I think.
Really, but it's not becoming. I mean, obviously, from season 1 to season 10 now. I mean, it has to be like where you're starting a bit, you're all set up, and then people are like, "Hey, I love your show." I mean,
it happens, but we have tricks to keep it pure. You know what I mean? Plus, also, honestly, with COVID, we had to change the show dramatically, right? So we weren't able to do challenges in public parks anymore. Things like that. Couldn't go to a supermarket anymore. So we had to change the show for the past year to be much more produced, locked down environments like a focus group room or things like, you know what I mean, where we control the people coming in. So we instantly got rid of the people shouting from a distance, "Hey, Sal!" You know, I hope to go back to those days once, you know, everything's kind of returned to normal. But in the meantime, it actually kind of made the show more producible in a way, because we don't have to deal with the general public from a distance shouting as we're interacting with a stranger who doesn't know the show, you know?
Yeah. I mean, have you ever, you have security on set for everything, right?
I thought I pointed out my security right there.
I mean, I know, I could see that
You can
have,
see my
yeah,
pup is primed and ready to attack anyone, including, I think that's the abominable snowman, the toy.
yeah.
You know, look, look, she's protecting me against the snowman right there.
You see, it seems like you're living in fear, Murr. Yeah, like you're yes, but on the set you have security. Have you ever been physically attacked where people don't realize it's a joke and then take a swing at
It's not our plan to get people angry. Of course, there's only one time I was hit. It's with we were filming in one of these kind of like discount superstores, like a lot less kind of store, and this guy that's like twice my size and twice my width is shopping for jeans, and the guy said, "Murr, go up to the guy," and they ran down like the biggest bra you've ever seen in your life. It's like a size Z bra, right? And they said, "Murr, go up and hold the bra up to the guy's chest, and when he asks what you're doing, say that he's the same size as your wife and you just want to check out the size." And he wasn't having it. He reached into his pocket, pulled out a cell phone, and whacked me on the face with the cell phone, gave me a black eye, and then he chased me around the store like a scurrying little ferret. So that's the only time in a decade one of us was attacked.
You got a black eye.
Was that?
Yeah. You got a black eye?
I got a black eye, yeah.
Now, did that make the show, or did you keep that out?
It's in the show. We trimmed down the chase scene. He chased me around the store, and I had to run to the basement behind two different levels of security to get away from him. We cut that out because we thought it might be too mean. But we did keep the scene itself in, and him attacking me.
Are you afraid of cancel culture with all these comedians being in jeopardy?
Like I said, our goal is never to get people angry or anything like that. I think what makes the show enjoyable is that there are things we won't do. You know what I mean? Like, we don't cross those boundaries. There are things we won't do. Watching us squirm and not do things is, in my mind, as a comedian, is even more enjoyable than watching us do things, you know? So yeah. I think we always toe the right line. Oh, that's the whole crux of the series, is that we're afraid to do things. And that's what makes it enjoyable and watchable, you know?
Have you ever had someone play along, like someone that you're pranking, you know, and play along the whole time, and then at the end be like, "I knew it was you guys the whole time, but
there's no way to get.
You can't fool you guys.
No, because remember, before you come on, like when you walk on the set, let's say you're going to a White Castle to get a cheeseburger, right? When you walk in, before you see Sal behind the counter, there's 10 different cameras on you and 30 people in the back watching you at all times. And we're identifying whether we think you would be a good mark to interact with. So by the time you get to the front of the line, you're like, "Holy shit, it's Sal," and you try to act cool. When you notice Sal 10 feet away before you're interacting with him, we're watching that moment that you notice him before you're even interacting with him. So I can see you change and be like, "I'm going to play it cool." There's no possible way. Maybe
you can't trick Mark.
Maybe you can trick one of us or two of us, but there's 50 people watching you on TV before you interact with Sal. You cannot fool that many people. It just can't happen. No one's that good an actor.
Can you tell me the story you told me last time you were on the show? You used to work at NBC, and you met Jerry Seinfeld, and it wasn't a great experience. Can you tell that story?
At that point, I was a temp at NBC, right? It was like my first week. I was a temp on the 17th floor of Rockefeller Center, which, if any of you know, that's the Saturday Night Live floor, right? That's where all the writers are, and that's where the main room is, where they get together on Wednesdays to read the script for the week, the sketches, rather. My cubicle was in the hallway on that floor. It was like my first week there. Jerry Seinfeld was the host of the episode of the show that week, and the former temp before me had a gallon-sized bag of keys. And when I started, they handed the keys to me and said, "These are the keys for every door on the 17th floor, including all the SNL offices, blah, blah." There you go. Not a single key was labeled. It's a gallon-sized Ziploc bag of keys. None were labeled. Some had little markings. You had to decipher from who knows what. And that's how they left it. You know, I started there a week in. Jerry Seinfeld comes walking down the hall. He needs to get into one of the locked offices to work out of on the SNL floor. And he says, "Do you have a key to the room 17 or whatever it was?" I said, "Sure, Mr. Seinfeld." I look in the drawer. I dump out. It has to be 200 keys. And he gives me about 2 minutes of waiting as I'm flailing, and I'm flustered, totally starstruck, looking through these keys, trying to find any markings for what room 17, whatever it was. And after like 2 minutes, he goes, "It's okay, I'll find another way in." And he left. And I was like, fuck. I screwed up my one and only encounter with Jerry Seinfeld.
You could have been the hero. Okay.
I could have been the hero.
Now, am I going to see you in Richmond? I live right near Richmond.
I hope so.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, though. Look, my mom lives in Richmond. I have a few hours free on Friday, and I'll be honest, my mom is making homemade pizza on Friday afternoon for lunch. So,
okay.
If it's a choice between you, who I adore, don't get me wrong.
Let me come over.
And my mom, I'm inviting you to my mom's house, dude. Come on.
You got to squeeze me in.
I'll do my best. If there's any extra time or an extra slice, I'll squeeze you in, buddy.
All right. I'll stand outside the door.